Clarence.
Where I'm from, you fight to survive. I'm not a bad person, just playing the cards I was dealt.
And your last name is Hitchcock.
I know.
I've never met a Hitchcock.
And sadly, zero relation.
Ah.
How cool would it be if there was some sort of tie there, but there's not,
My
unfortunately.
favorite director.
Oh man, this would have really been cool.
Yeah.
I probably would have gotten more time with you then. Congratulations on this. Just out of curiosity, who would be at your Last Supper? What pals of yours would show up for that?
I'll bring my bro back, you know. I would want to chill with him.
Of course.
Yeah, that's for sure. Some of my ancestors, I'll bring them back, you know. I want to talk to them, get some game. You know.
How about you?
I'll bring back my dad, my dog. I'd allow my dog to eat off the plate as well. I'll tell you. Chill, my dog's cleaner than you. Dirty scoundrels. And Prince.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
fire.
one.
Yeah, Prince.
I grew up in Texas, and our high school football team won the state 5A football championship back-to-back years, and we actually called our quarterback the Messiah.
Ah.
So I'm just curious, is there anyone that you kind of looked up to in that way? And, you know, hate to use the word Messiah to refer to that person, but they were godlike to you.
I think for me, growing up, like, I would say, like, my mum, right? I would look at her like mum, especially, you know, I used to get in so much trouble as a kid, and her patience with me, and then her sitting me down and making me watch old movies and teaching me everything about, she taught me about Alfred Hitchcock when I was like 11 years old. So for me, my mum was my Messiah, and you know, being an adult, my son, just looking at him growing up like, oh, there's the black God. And he looks at me like, I'm your boss.
I think I would have to say my kids. That is really where I get my source of inspiration from. The unending well of potential behind the eyes of a child is really quite special. You know, kids are, it's just, I think we're just hardwired to feel that way, where it's almost like we are one. And in fact, I value you to such a degree that I don't even know if I ever had that same kind of value for myself.
Yeah.
And I think that is a really special thing.
Absolutely.
You're almost childlike in your description. Is this what brings out the childlike part of you?
Oh, it's always on the cusp. I mean, that's why I love to do what I do, because I get to play. And, you know, that part of me has never gone, will never go. So it's a good thing I found a job that allows for it.
Did it come out at all in the chariot race? I know it's not as Ben-Hur as the Ben-Hur chariot race, but it's a chariot race.
It's a gangster chariot race. It's an illegal chariot race in the street.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that in any movie ever
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to have fun with somebody like RJ. You know, it's easy to play like that because he's a really smart person. So when you're smart, you can be funny, because you can take things that are in a typical order and reorder them, and that's what makes them funny. To have that capacity is a special gift, and he definitely had it and made it sweet. And it was already all there on the page, because James is funny for the same reason, because he's smart, but he can take things in places and put them in inappropriate places and then be mischievous, and I love that. So it was a super fun and funny experience.
Can I just tell you, RJ plays stoned very well. Like he just looks relaxed, and he might just be all the time.
Yeah. Someone's like, his eyes, he just looks like he's looking at it. I was like, them's his eyes. RJ's eyes. He does like, when these guys walk into Jedediah's harem, RJ does something with his eyebrow in slow-mo. He just lifts up his eyebrow and he looks back at like this woman he walks past. I'm like, this guy's got the best slow motion eyebrows in the history. Slow motion eyebrow. RJ's just that guy.
That could be like a TikTok meme now, is slow-mo eyebrows.
Yeah, slow-mo eyebrows.
You can't even buy power like that. I want to be like that in 10 years.
Tara Hitchcock from Harkins Theaters, which is based in Arizona, the largest family-owned theater chain.
Nice.
Which you've been to, believe it or not, years ago. For Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl.
Oh, wait, we screened.
You screened it there, and you came to the interview at Harkins
yeah.
Theaters. Good to see you.
Hey, look, I got history.
You got a little Arizona history. Who would be at your Last Supper? Fill your table for me.
Ay, ay, ay.
I know. How long can my table
Yeah,
be?
how
You
many
can have a
people
really
are
long
there?
table.
Okay.
But we
Not
only
that it
have
needs to
3
be so
minutes.
long. Yeah. I know I would have my immediate family,
Yeah,
and, you know, of course.
Oh,
Because who doesn't
yeah.
want Oprah at their table?
That's true. I would have my best friends, Aaron and Azizi, at my table, of course. Not because it's like, oh, well, it's because I don't have nobody else to laugh with at dinner like I do them. You feel me? Of
Wait,
course,
I
my
hear
queen.
laughter. Are there some of these people you're mentioning in this room? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Of course, my wife, my queen. I would want my baby to eat with me because she be having to make me eat better. So I know I would eat all the mess on the table if I didn't.
I'd invite James.
Yeah. Well, James
Our
has
director,
to.
James Samuel.
I thought my last
Who
supper was gonna be
doesn't
his
want him?
house. To be honest, I would hold my last supper at James's
At his
house.
home, yeah.
So
That's
then
pretty cool.
he doesn't have a choice but to be at the table.
Oh, dead one, open your eyes. Elijah.
When was the last time you felt like you had to prove yourself? I mean, this movie, Clarence is out to prove himself, that he's somebody. When was the last time you felt the need to prove yourself?
I feel it still
This morning.
every day.
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing great.
Yeah. And not even in a negative way. Like, I've really moved away from that being a negative thing. I'm in an industry with giants, people that are brilliant. And so you need to show up and you need to prove that you belong in that space. I have to prove it to myself.
Exactly.
And to myself more than anyone.
Yeah.
Who is that person that's been kind of godlike for you as you've grown up?
Ooh. I mean, for me, it's artists like Regina, Viola, you know, these women that have just shown me how. They've shown me how without ever even meeting me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just, I was supposed to be a teacher, so there's not artists that I really paid attention to that much when I was younger. I feel like the artist that I aspire to be, that's because I always depict him here, and that's what I kind of aspire to be. Every time I get a new chance to swing at this craft, right, I'm like, that RJ. But it's like I don't know how to explain him.
That's manifestation.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain him, but I'm so enamored by who he is, because I've dreamt about him. I've thought I'm like, I'm gonna be him one day, but I don't know when, I can see.
I know Jay-Z is a producer on this. When Jay-Z is a producer, do you ever see him? Does he actually show up and do stuff, or is he just like, oh, he's attached to this and
He's
support?
not just a man of many hats. He has many hats, coats,
Yeah.
shoes, socks.
Yeah,
So we are, just grateful to have such a powerful backing engine. We're sitting on a V12 engine. So other than that, it's the pedal's job to do the pedal's job. It's the trunk's job to stay closed, the windows to keep us safe from the wind. So with Jay, he's done his part with being the creative hands-on, and him and James always having these conversations. But he didn't need to be, too heavy hands-on. We got it. You trust us. We got the rest of it. You feel me?
Absolutely. But he really was hands-on.
Yeah,
he was
really hands-on.
remotely hands-on, though, because we're
yeah.
filming in Matera, Italy. So,
Beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
is where you guys filmed.
I mean,
For sure.
There are a lot of cameos in this film.
Yeah.
Who was the one, even if you're not in a scene with them, that you were the most excited to maybe see on the big screen?
Benedict for me, and I was in a scene with him, which was really nice. Benedict. I mean, yeah.
We don't want to give too much away, but he has a great cameo.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I know they wrap me. I know that we're not in Italy, but I love how they attempted to make us feel like we're in Italy. This would have been so great if we had been in Italy.
Jesus of Nazareth.
I'm a God, so when you see me, say hallelujah.
I'm destined to be here.
Hallelujah.
Come on.